But there were some Euro to Euro moves, and I'm talking about the two Serbian clubs, Crvena Zvezda and Partizan. And I want to ask you, Donatas, who do you think got the better deal? Who signed the better star power forward or star forward? Was it Partizan signing Jabari Parker, or was it Crvena Zvezda signing Chima Moneke?
That's a tricky question because that's how I look at this situation. I think I like Jabari Parker's fit more in Partizan because of a clear role, of clear team needs, and guys that are around him. And I'm talking about Carlik Jones, Sterling Brown, Isaac Bonga, and Tyreek Jones, or whoever they're going to sign at the center position, because I think that they need some rim protection over there or some really solid defender. But when they put Jabari Parker in that puzzle, I like that puzzle. When I have Chima Moneke, I have still a confusing puzzle in the Red Star because there should be Cody Miller-McIntyre, which I think is great for Chima. They had a great time together in Baskonia where Chima was efficient, Cody was efficient, Baskonia was a winning team, they made the playoffs. It was good vibes. Then I'm hearing that Jordan Nwora from Efes should move to Red Star, which is fine. He's a great scorer, and even if it's like Isaiah Cannon, that's okay. And then you have Nikola Kalinic as a forward, but they also signed Semi Ojeleye, who is also a forward, at a center position since Bolomboy is injured and he might be out until December or even January. They don't have a clear, let's say, star level or clear starter center.
Is John Brown there, or is he expiring and gone?
It's confusing. I'm not sure. I heard mixed information about him that he might leave, and then Rivera should come, and then they have some other guys. But I mean, to me, it's a confusing picture that I have. A lot of players, and when I put them together, I'm not sure how they can fit together, how they can make this puzzle becoming a winning team together, although I still consider them at the probably same page with Partizan. But I just like the idea of Partizan more, with Jabari Parker as a foreman rather than Chima in this packed forward situation in Zvezda, although I think that Chima has more to offer. I believe that he can give more to the team long term, or let's say he has more upsides to show more things to Red Star than Jabari to Partizan.
Well, let me disagree with you a little bit, just because I was thinking about this situation of Jabari here in Europe, the few years he had with Barcelona, and the thing that first came to my mind is, of course, the fans are going to be different. It's going to be the best atmosphere for the guy who comes from Chicago, from nothing, like he said, and to experience that nightly, it'll be great. But talking about basketball here, he has now played under Roger Grimau and Joan Peñarroya, two coaches that we know as guys who give a lot of freedom to their players, don't have strict systems, don't necessarily have the tools, the knowledge, or the communication skills to help the player from the NBA, from the American culture, to integrate and to understand, for example, defensive things. So the reason why Jabari Parker is probably a bit not underrated, but is looked at with a little bit of doubt, is because defensively, he's a bit of a liability, especially off-ball defense. On-ball defense, he also is attacked sometimes. So I feel like now having Željko Obradović, the winningest coach, one of the geniuses of the EuroLeague, as your coach, you'll probably finally get that guidance of what to do. You'll be in a stricter system. You'll have the rules to not be as exposed defensively. I hope that's the case. And I feel like Jabari Parker in general, what he brings, all the offensive tools, except for shot selection sometimes, are great. He can handle the ball as a forward. I mean, you probably would say two of the best forwards who can handle the ball would be Nigel, maybe him, maybe Will Clyburn, but
Chima as well.
Chima, yeah, but Chima cannot create his own shot as Jabari can, and I feel like for Jabari, those things that we're talking about that he struggles with, shot selection, that can be improved by good system in offense, let's say prepared by Željko, and him being used in the right situations, then you have off-ball defense. If you have a good defensive system with rules, you fix that too. On-ball defense, we'll see. But in general, that guy can score on 3 levels as well, just like Nigel Hayes. I'm excited about it, and I want to see how it will look under Željko. That's all I wanted to say, because I think Jabari maybe an overstatement, but I feel like he has like all EuroLeague potential at some point in his career as he develops, and we'll see. That's why I also think Jabari Parker to Partizan, because of the fit as well as what you said, but also because of what toolset he has, is a better fit, is a better signing, let's say.
I just wonder if his minutes won't be limited. I mean, you mentioned freedom that he received in the previous clubs. Okay, Željko will guide him to become a more complete player, but at the same time, he might punish him as well for not playing according to his standard, and how Jabari is going to accept a different coaching. I actually was surprised to see him leaving Barca, because I thought that he found his inner peace in Barcelona. A lot of freedom, not toxic environment, no crazy fans around, just you enjoying the city, enjoying your time, playing your basketball the way you want to play. Now it's gonna change with Željko. He's a different beast, and I'm eager to see how he gonna be coached, how he can accept that coaching, and how he can become a good fit with Partizan. I'm not sure if he's ready, because I think that Chima is ready. He knows what Belgrade is all about. He embraces that toxicity, let's say, out there. And I think that Chima, he was great in his first season in Baskonia, and the team made the playoffs. In second year, you could feel that he didn't feel comfortable in the team. There was a lot of going on inside the team, and you could see that he was mentally ready to leave the club, leave the losing club. So you cannot judge him by the season that he had. When you combine his experience in Baskonia, you could see that there's a lot of potential. He can give you a lot of things, but at the same time, if he wants to reach that next level, all EuroLeague level, he needs to be consistent, more in being able to get himself together when things are not going well. When the team is losing, or his shots are not falling in, or if he's not receiving enough feeds, let's say. Because when you check his stats, I mean, there's a huge difference between the games his team won, or the games his team lost. For instance, his scoring average improves by 2 points when they were winning last season. But even if you take his best year in Baskonia, which was 23-24, in wins, he was averaging 15 points. In losses, it was 12 points on a very average shooting. So, and you could see him, even from his body language, if things are not going well for him, his head is down. He might be a little bit late in defense. He's somewhere else. So I think that Red Star and Coach Sfaropoulos might help him to reach that consistency. He will have to reach that consistency playing for this fan base and for that situation. So I think that there's more upside for him to have better stats than Jabari Parker in a bit different role than he had in Barcelona. But if we're looking at the team success, I'm still not sure which team will be more successful with the roster pictures that they have at the moment.
There's a lot of things to address, or that I want to address what you just talked about. Number one, with punishing, let's say, Jabari Parker by cutting his minutes, by putting other guys in. I just look at the current roster picture, at least, and there's a big lack of depth in the forward positions, and I don't see really with Isaiah Mike probably leaving, at least according to our rumors at the moment. With obviously Brandon Davis went to Japan. By the way, guys, expect this to happen more in the future years. These
Japan is the future. Japan is future.
V-League will give you can't refuse offers, and you won't, and we'll lose a lot of players there, I think. But wanted to say that there's not really that many forwards. They signed Dylan Osikowski from Unicaja, who just won BCL, but obviously one thing is to play in the BCL. Obviously, they were good in the ACB too, but it's gonna be a jump there. He's a solid stretch big, but generally speaking, I see Jabari there as a very important piece. So I'm expecting him to get the minutes. We'll see how it goes. Like you said, maybe he'll get punished. Regarding Chima Moneke, for me, the question is, how much money did they pay him? Because with money, with the big contracts comes big expectations. And Zvezda fans, you'll probably really love Chima for his dunks, for his hustle, for his energy, offensively, defensively, both ways. He can grab a bunch of rebounds, 6 rebounds per game last year, 14 points. He was one of the higher PIRs in the league, but at the same time, some mental stuff, shot selection. There's a lot of difference from playing for Baskonia with Pablo Lasso. Previously, probably Duško was there.
Duško. Yeah. A lot of coaches.
Is a big difference playing in that system, that freedom sort of a vibe, and then playing for Sfairopoulos in this high pressure, high stakes situation where the whole country and there's a big tension about basketball in general. And like I'm saying, like you said, I think, when it doesn't go well, all the criticism might start, and looking at his contract. So do you have any numbers on the...
I'm not sure about the numbers.
Okay.
So,
but we're talking about still like a 2 million range, or...
I think it was even reported that it might be something like 2.3, 2.5, over 2 million for sure.
Yeah. Well, looking at his stats, obviously you would say, yeah, that makes sense. But, there's... Someone said it on our Lithuanian podcast, like, where is Chima Moneke elite? Like, at what exactly? What is he elite at? You could say athleticism or hustle or whatever, but like, you want, for a big amount of money, you want someone who's going to be elite at something and will change the game in a major way, unless this is the market these days and you're paying whatever you just said, the 2.35 million, whatever.
Or maybe he'll become another Nigel Hayes-Davis, being complete in all the areas.
Could be 100%. But yeah.
But again, the thing with Jabari, you mentioned, there's not much depth in that situation, and I think that Jabari is for sure the best foreman that they had since Zach Lidey, and you could see that last year they were lacking of that clear, solid foreman in the roster. And also Isaac Bonga's extension was huge for the team, because that covers some loopholes of Jabari's game, just as it was with Justin Anderson in Barcelona, for instance. And of course, the centers that they had. I'm missing that a little bit in Partizan. Let's wait and see who they're gonna bring. In Zvezda, as you mentioned, if things are not going well, there's still Kalinic who can play your position. There is Ojale. Okay, he's shorter, but still, it's a big body.
Shoot.
And when Ojale went there, I thought that, Chima is not going there for sure, because they have Kalinic and Ojale. But now there's Chima as well. So, and the pressure-wise, if Belgrade's get that Final Four host rights, then we're going to talk about pressure. And again, I don't remember when pressure really helped any of those Belgrade teams.
Anytime they made a big statement about this year is about the Final Four, we're building a team for a Final Four, it just flopped. So
let's start from the playoffs first, okay?
That's
step
where
by
we
step.
should start.
And I think that, still both Partizan and Red Star should be playoff contention teams.
For me, Zvezda, when we're talking about Zvezda, I just want to see something in the backcourt. You got Teodosic, who retired. You got Nedovic on the move or likely to move.
He might stay.
He might stay.
Yeah.
Well, but you still, if you remember last year's Crvena Zvezda's backcourt, it wasn't groundbreaking, really.
Yeah. It's still not very groundbreaking as well. So
I feel like you need someone there. Except you don't want to make that situation of, let's say, I don't remember exact season, but you remember Ettore Messina and Armani with 8 forwards and 3 guards or whatever in the roster. Yeah. So you want some creation. Okay, you got Cody Miller-McIntyre. Iago Dos Santos is inconsistent. Who else is there on the guards? But anyways, what I'm saying, you want a bit more depth. You want maybe a bigger name as well in there next to Cody Miller-McIntyre. At the moment, is probably the biggest hole is the guard position next to CMM, if we could call him with his initials. So yeah, but that's the Serbian teams. It'll be really interesting to see the full picture.